Ron Paul CNBC interview that he just did here. I want to talk to you a little bit about who he is, what he says in this interview, and what I think that it means for cryptocurrency. First, let me just say this. I got a video scheduled to go out a little later today talking about Binance and how to make a deposit onto Binance. Like how do you, if you have dollars or if you have money and you want to get onto Binance, how do you do that? I'm going to discuss that coming up in another video. So stay tuned for that. I'm in the middle of that series, but this news story came up and I saw it. And Ron Paul is someone, if you don't know who he is, he's someone who I first heard about him several years ago. And at the time, to be honest with you, I didn't necessarily like the guy. I mean, he's not the most engaging person to listen to. But the more that I watched what he said, I realized, wow, like he really knows what he's talking about. He might not be engaging, but he knows what he's talking about. And he's oftentimes, he's a gold and silver guy. He believes in strong economic freedom. He believes in free markets. But he doesn't like the way our current financial system is set up. And if you haven't yet, then you can take a look on my channel at the video Money as Debt. I'll put that in the card above. But you can watch that video, Money as Debt, and you'll understand that he understands everything that short documentary is talking about. And he understands what most people don't get about the economy. And it's one of the what he believes about the economy, I also tend to believe, but I also believe about as far as the financial system and how it's a bit of our own financial system, believe it or not, is set up a bit like a Ponzi scheme. And so it's destined to eventually crash. I believe that, which is why I believe cryptocurrency, not only is it going to crash, but it's going to suck the life out of the elderly people and the money that they've saved, and even people who are younger in their 20s and 30s today saving towards retirement. When there's an major economic crash because of massive inflation in the economy, then it's going to take the savings of everybody with it, unless I believe you've invested into something like cryptocurrency and or gold and silver. Let's first listen to what he has to say. It's a short video. It's about 2 minutes long.
To start broadly and talk about where you're seeing the markets right now in terms of that market meltdown that you've been calling for on this show for quite some time.
Well, you know, in the last, 8 or 10 months, the market has taken a turn down. It's been down 10% or so. And I think it's a very vulnerable position because when markets are destined to make big corrections, as I believe, they don't do it from the top. They do it from 10 to 15% down. So we're at that position. So once this volatility shows that we're not going to resume the bull market, then people are going to rush to the exit. So I suspect that we're at a very, very precarious point where people are going to say, hey, you know, there's something wrong going on. And I am not optimistic that all of a sudden you're going to eliminate the tariff problem. I think that's here to stay. I don't think the tariff man's going to give up.
The downturn that you're forecasting in the market, how bad do you think it'll be, you know, looking back in terms of history? Is there anything you can compare it to?
Well, you know, I just think it's there's no sign that it's going to be mild, and it depends on what the government does. If you allow the liquidation, it doesn't last long. I would advocate, you know, allowing it to liquidate itself like in 1921. No, I think it could be worse than 1929, and because we can't keep our hands off. We prop it up. It's like taking drugs, and I think all this QE bailout was just loading up on the drugs. It was so dependent on free money. But unfortunately, what happens is the money doesn't get distributed fairly, and that's why you have social chaos, and that's why you have socialists making headway in the elections, because of the maldistribution. We don't have a market economy, and I get very annoyed when they say, see, Ron, that free market stuff, it doesn't work. Look at the terrible situation we have here, and that is the reason why I think it's so important to understand the original cause of the problem, and that is the Federal Reserve running up debt and letting politicians spend money, and having conservatives, when they get in office and control the government, they're worse than the Democrats because they're totally dependent on it.
Hey traders, did you like that video?
Okay, so the what he's saying there is he's talking about when I love when he talks about people say, hey, Ron, the free market doesn't work. Well, because his point is, which he didn't expand upon, is he doesn't believe that we are in a totally free market environment right now. A lot of people say that, hey, we're in a free market environment right now. And he says, yeah, but we're not in a total free market environment. We've got a lot of market manipulation by the government and the central banks. There's a reason the dollar's lost over 90% of its purchasing power in the same period that gold has kept its purchasing power. There's a lot of challenges with gold as well that Bitcoin and cryptocurrency obviously can solve. And it's why I believe on the future of cryptocurrency. But today the market is down. It's down drastically. What does that say? In fact, let's see here, right here. Stock needs a Santa. So it's crumbling. I mean, the stock market is tanking today, and I think it's going to continue to tank. And I think that I agree with what Ron Paul says. I think we're going to see a major market slide. The problem is that the government always wants to get involved, and they're going to continue to get involved. We're not going to a sound financial system. And if you don't understand how the government gets involved, again, I'll put a card at the top. You can take a look at the video that I did on the Federal Reserve, and you can watch that video, and that'll give you an idea of how the government gets involved. And I'll also put a video at the top that I did on lending, on fractional reserve lending, and you'll get an idea of a shorter version of what's going on in the market, so to speak, or what's going on with our economic financial system here in the U.S. But let me just say this. What does all this mean for cryptocurrency? There's a lot of people that hope, myself included, that if we see a major downturn in the markets, let me show you. So there's a lot of us that hope that if we see a major downturn in the markets, that we'll see a big uptick in cryptocurrency, which is what we're seeing today, by the way. But I don't think this is necessarily because of the markets. I could be wrong. A lot of people hope, they really hope that people are going to run to like Bitcoin, for example, as a means of safety in the markets. Historically, people run to gold. Sometimes they run to the US dollar when the markets are unstable, and that's kind of like their safety net. And Bitcoin enthusiasts like myself oftentimes hope that people will start running towards Bitcoin. And although I believe that is the trend, and I believe that some people may do that, I don't believe that's the overall sentiment. I don't think the majority of people are going to run to Bitcoin right now for safety. And I actually think that if the market falls hard enough, that people are going to use all their spare capital for example, the average consumer is going to be withdrawing capital out of their investment portfolios to live off of it, things like that. So I actually think that if the market tanks hard enough, cryptocurrency will go right with it for now. So what does that mean from an investing standpoint? Well, it means that you continue to dollar cost average in, because your dollars are able to buy so much as long as cryptocurrency continues to fall against the dollar. For example, Ethereum right now, $93. We've seen Ethereum over $1,000. And I believe that in the past all-time highs that we have, my belief is that we'll see all-time highs even higher. So in my case anyway, I'm going to continue to dollar cost average in for sure. I don't typically, and I'll do a video on this, so if you want to see it, subscribe to my channel. I don't typically invest on green days, and I'll explain part of my investment strategy when it comes to dollar cost averaging and how I kind of choose when to get in. What are sort of the things I look at when I get in, because I don't systematically just invest on like the first Monday of every week, or the first of every single month, or the 15th of every month. I don't do it arbitrarily like that. I do look at the market a little bit, and I'll explain how I do that in an upcoming video. So again, if you want to see that, be sure to subscribe to this channel. But what I see happening right now is that I believe we're going to have a market crash. I believe the cryptocurrency market could go down with it. And you may say, well, why are you going to dollar cost average it if you think the market's going to fall further? Because I don't have a crystal ball. And at some point, people may rush into crypto. So crypto may continue to go up if the market crashes. I don't have a crystal ball. But I understand that I need to be dollar cost averaging in, and I'm investing in the technology for the long term. I am not trying to time markets. Yes, I love the idea that I can make money in the cryptocurrency market, but I'm more concerned about the technology and what the technology is going to do. And I believe in the technology, and I believe in the future of the cryptocurrency markets as a whole. So I'll continue to buy in, but I'm buying in knowing that I may lose on my purchase today, and I'm only looking to win in the long run. I'm not looking to time a profit today. I'm not going to be pulling out tomorrow. When I buy in, I'm expecting to stay in for the long haul. So I'll buy in, for example, if I buy in today, I wouldn't, it's an up day, but if it was a down day on crypto, I would buy today. And I may end up buying, next week. And the market could be higher, the market could be lower. I don't know. I don't care. The one thing that it does remind me when we're in a down market is it reminds me to always be a little cautious. it reminds you not to get caught up in the fear of missing out. There's always another opportunity. There's always another opportunity. A lot of people would look at this and they'll be like, oh, EOS is up 21%. Crap, I should have bought some EOS. Only if you had a crystal ball 21% ago, I wouldn't buy into it right now. And this isn't personal individual financial advice. This is just how I look at the markets. And I'm going to do an in-depth video coming up, so stay tuned for that, where I discuss, why I don't buy on green days specifically. Specifically, I do not make purchases on green days as a whole. And whenever I've broke that rule, when I've only broken it a couple times, it's burnt me every single time. And part of the reason that I don't, it's about keeping your emotions in check. And I'll talk to you again, like I said, on another video, so stay tuned for that. At the end of this video, you can take a look at my playlist on crypto passive income. Passive income is one of the areas that I focus on this channel. Earning passive cryptocurrency. That is an area that I focus on big time, because even in down markets, I think it's that much more important to be earning passive cryptocurrency every single day, every single month. And I love projects and strategies that allow me to earn passive cryptocurrency. So make sure you watch that video playlist at the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you think we're headed for a market meltdown in the coming weeks, or do you think that the market's gonna just rally even stronger? Let me know what your thoughts are down below in the comments. And do you think cryptocurrency is going to go up in the next several weeks, or do you think it's going to go down in the next several weeks? Do you think it follows the market, or do you think it operates independently of the market? Let me know what your thoughts are. Please leave a comment down below. Look forward to reading your comments and responding. Have a great day.